Welcome to Business Book Daily, where we pull one useful idea from one business book and turn it into something you can actually use. Today's book is Designing Brand Identity by Alina and Rob Meyerson. Wheeler was a branding consultant and author known for creating one of the most widely used guides to brand identity, and Meyerson is a brand strategist, consultant, and author who writes about naming, positioning, and brand systems. Before we get into the book, today's episode is sponsored by CommissionOnly.com. Want to sell more without adding fixed sales salaries? Many companies hire commission-only reps, experienced sellers who get paid only when they produce. Post your opportunity on CommissionOnly.com and get in front of motivated reps who are already looking for performance-based roles. That's CommissionOnly.com. Now back to designing brand identity. The big idea is simple. A strong brand is not just a logo, color palette, or tagline. It's a system that helps people recognize, understand, trust, and remember a business. A lot of companies treat branding like decoration. They redesign the logo, pick nicer colors, rewrite a tagline, and hope the market suddenly understands them better. But if the strategy is unclear, better visuals only make the confusion better dressed. Designing brand identity makes branding more practical. A brand identity should help a company explain who it is, why it matters, what it promises, and how it should show up everywhere customers meet it. That matters because customers notice consistency. When your website, packaging, sales materials, product experience, social media, and customer service all tell the same story, the business feels easier to trust. When they don't, the brand feels scattered, even if the product is good. The first concept is starting with strategy before design. Before choosing fonts, colors, or visuals, the business needs to define its audience, positioning, promise, values, personality, and competitive difference. Design should make the strategy visible. It should not cover up the fact that nobody has agreed on what the company actually stands for. The second concept is building a complete identity system. A brand identity includes much more than the logo. It includes the name, messaging, voice, typography, color, imagery, layout, icons, packaging, website, signage, presentations, and customer-facing materials. Each part should feel connected. The goal is not to make everything identical. The goal is to make everything clearly belong to the same company. That way, customers do not have to relearn the brand every time they meet it in a new place. The third concept is making the brand useful across touchpoints. Customers experience a brand in many places, not just ads. A clear identity should work on a website, app, proposal, product page, invoice, trade show booth, customer email, social post, and sales deck. If the identity only works in one format, it is not strong enough. That's where many companies get into trouble. The brand looks good in the big reveal deck, then falls apart the moment someone has to make a slide, write an email, update a product page, or design a sign for a conference booth. A real brand system has to survive actual business use. The fourth concept is using consistency to build trust. Consistency makes a company feel more professional and reliable. When the brand looks and sounds different every time, customers have to work harder to understand it. And customers are busy. They are not sitting around with a corkboard and red string trying to solve the mystery of your brand. Clear standards help teams create faster, cleaner, and more trustworthy communication. The fifth concept is managing the brand after launch. A brand identity is not finished when the new logo is approved. It needs guidelines, training, tools, templates, and ownership. Without management, even a good brand system can drift into confusion as more people create materials. This is why the strongest brands do not just launch well, they maintain the system over time. So how do you apply this? Start by checking whether your brand strategy is clear. Write down who you serve, what problem you solve, why customers choose you, and what promise you want the market to remember. If your team cannot explain the brand simply, the design will probably feel scattered too. Next, audit your main customer touchpoints. Look at your website, sales deck, proposals, emails, social profiles, packaging, onboarding, and customer support materials. Ask whether they look and sound like one company or several companies sharing a login. Then tighten the identity system. Choose clear rules for voice, visuals, messaging, logo use, colors, type, imagery, and layout. Keep the rules practical enough that real people will actually use them. Finally, make brand consistency easier for the team. Create templates, examples, and shared assets so people do not have to reinvent the brand every time they make a slide, email, post, or document. A strong brand system saves time because it turns repeated decisions into clear standards. Here are 3 insights worth sharing. First, a strong brand is not a prettier logo. It's a system that helps customers recognize, understand, and trust the business faster. Second, brand strategy should come before brand design. If the positioning is unclear, the visuals will only make the confusion better dressed. Third, consistency is not boring when it builds trust. Customers remember brands that show up clearly across every touch point. Designing brand identity is worth reading if you want a practical guide to building or refreshing a brand identity system. It's also useful if you lead marketing, design, product, or customer experience and need clearer brand standards. You might skip it if you want a quick logo design tutorial instead of a full brand identity guide. Today's closing sponsor is memoirghostwriting.com. Many of the best business books begin as ideas leaders have been refining for years, frameworks, philosophies, and lessons learned the hard way. Writing the book forces those ideas into clear form, and once they're on the page, they can travel far beyond a single conversation or presentation. At memoirghostwriting.com, we write memoirs and business books for entrepreneurs, founders, executives, and industry experts. We handle the interviews, structure, writing, editing, design, and publishing, so the final product is polished, professional, and built around your voice. If you've ever thought about what a business book could do for your authority, speaking, consulting, lead generation, or legacy, visit memoirghostwriting.com. That's it for today's Business Book Daily. One book, one useful idea, and one smarter way to build.